Hey everyone, it's Pixel again, and for this video is, well, a continuation of my review of Home Sweet Home, A Candy Mare Tale, and this is going to be the final chapter. So yeah, also disclaimer, this story is very gory and viewer discretion is advised. And also if you may want to read the story first before you watch any of my videos, so yeah. And also make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. But, okay, enough of my rambling, let's get on with this. So, this chapter opens up with Luna and Celestia apparently, I think, coming after taking care of the heartwarming Eve play. Star Swirl meets up with them, and he teleports them to the top of the castle. And of course he asks them what they think of the weather. And Luna says it's glorious, and Celestia says it's rare for them to have ice and snow this early on in the year, and that the Pegasi have outdone themselves. But it's revealed by Star Swirl that the Pegasi have absolutely nothing to do with this. And he reveals to the princesses that they've been visited by a Wendigo, and Celestia is confused because they're supposed to keep to the northern west or wastes. I think wastes, yeah. Basically, this is some time after they lost Private Pansy, and basically Commander Hurricane has abandoned their plans and to pursue his own. And there's actually hold on. Sorry. Basically Commander Hurricane has been wrapped up in grief that he has decided to openly go against and rebel against Princesses Luna and Celestia. So basically, in a nutshell, Commander Hurricane has abandoned his duties due to him still grieving the loss over Private Pansy. Starswell actually reveals that he's been trying to find an actual cure for what they call the candy curse. But he also gets the feeling that there's other types of magic at play in this. Spells that are unknown to unicorns or even alicorns. And apparently, Strawberry Patch's journal has related to them, and the Pegasi have that cared for Pansy. They both got the information from both sources, but Star Swirl says that they're still in the dark about what can be done to stop all of this, so... And of course, he fears that this lack of progress has led Commander Hurricane to consider more mundane and militaristic solutions. Basically, in a sense, he's kind of wanting to build an army in order to take down the Candy Mare. So, basically, let's see. Starswell basically... Actually, no, sorry. My notes are kind of all over the place. Basically, Luna asks if this is how it's always been, and if it's not, if it should be. But Celeste, since they basically can't find a magical solution, and they can't negotiate with the Candy Mare, stating that that in a way it kind of may have to be up to the military about what should be done with this. But Celestia counters that with saying that it's their job now too, given the fact that it's hinted at that they've been crowned the rulers of Equestria, but it's not. Actually, I'm probably wrong, but yeah. And basically, here in this chapter, they kind of learn, like, the consequences that is going to affect the fate of Equestria, and basically, they realize, like, the consequences of this, because Celestia states that over time, she's learned that the play alone can't be expected to hold everyone together. Because if they do just the play, then, in a sense, the other pony tribes may try to fall back on everything that was accomplished, and they'll be separated again. So she decides that they need to deal with the matter at hand right now in order to ease everybody's fears of the Candy Mare, and also for the sake of Commander Hurricane. So she and Luna plan to take on the burden themselves. Starswirl says that he's actually made a little bit of a progress in trying to neutralize the curse, and has considered other methods that they may be able to use to defeat the Candy Mare. And basically, Celestia has stated that they have, at this point, they found their cutie marks. Both Luna and Celestia now have cutie marks. And basically, she wants to know if, and she's also been studying the Tree of Harmony, which is, well, where they found them. And of course, she actually found two marching points on the tree. She suggests that there are others out there who will find that they represent the elements of harmony. So this is kind of foreshadowing how Twilight and her friends end up embodying the elements of harmony. And basically some of Starswirl's other methods is actually his studyings of traveling through time and dimensions. Yes, Starswirl came across a world where magic does not seem to actually exist. At first he didn't. He thought it was just a random world that he just found. But he ended up having second thoughts, given the fact that he gets the feeling that this could have a somewhat dampening effect on the Candy Mare if they can banish her there. Basically weakening her to a point where she can no longer be a threat. And you're probably wondering, why this world? Because because the fact that it lacks magic, unlike Equestria, they basically have to end up... Sorry about this. Sorry, my dad was vacuuming. So yeah, due to the human world, and yes, Starswirl discovered the human world, you're probably wondering, why did he consider that world? Well, because due to the lack of magic and the fact that the conclusion that it'll have a dampening effect on the Candy Mare, she'll no longer be a threat in Equestria or the next. And of course, Celestia then asks why he didn't mention this before. Starswirl explains, though, that the portal can only be open for 30 moons, and this cycle... excuse me, sorry. So basically the solution is not going to be as speedy, but they still have time to plan for being one step ahead. But Luna, however, says that this is unacceptable, and if this is as dire, then they need to act swiftly to stop the Candy Mare. And of course, Luna actually reveals that the spell of raising the moon has recharged her alicorn magic, and that she can now cast spells of transformation, changing her own shape and that of others. Basically, in her own words, in an ever-shifting shadow. And Luna's basically been learning how to deal with nightmares. At this point, the Candy Mare has become something of a boogeyman. Basically, she's striking fear into the ponies of Equestria. And of course, Luna actually has an idea that the death of Private Pansy was enough to sow such fear among them that it caused the appearance of the Wendigos. And of course, Luna thinks that it would be wise to, in a sense, suppress this tale, basically kind of erase it from history. But Starswirl, however, thinks that it may have the opposite... Sorry, I'm not graceful today. That forbidding the tale may have the opposite effect than what they were hoping for. But he does suggest replacing the tale with a new story about how the princesses defeated the Candy Mare. Once they actually do so, once, the deed is accomplished. The sisters agree, and also at the end, before things get really, really weird and really creepy, there's some foreshadowing. Luna at one point complains that the ponies are always sleeping through her nights, saying it strikes her as downright ungrateful, but Celestia reassures her that it'll be dealt with another time. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of a foreshadowing, because in the first installment of the series, the Candy Mare and Luna are kind of intertwined, because this is before Luna became Nightmare Moon. we kind of see a little bit of what kind of built up to that, and basically, given the fact that she's the one who banished the candy mare, she basically, this is probably after they get situated and make a plan of attack, they basically, in a sense, end up with this. You basically kind of get what happens. Luna basically banishes the candy mare, and up until the first installment of the series, stuff goes down. But yeah, it's kind of nice to see, like, sort of like the beginnings, or like, yeah, the beginnings of how Luna became Nightmare Moon. Now, what happens next is that we head all the way into the future during present time. We basically start in Canterlot Castle, where the mirror to the human world is being kept, and Sunset Shimmer actually comes in. Like, she jumps through the portal, and of course, this is probably during the first Equestria Girls movie, or I actually think, yeah, because it seems that she's kind of planning on taking Twilight's crown, but she notices that there aren't any guards around. And once she goes into the hall, it's basically a mess. Like, it basically has it's been abandoned for what seems to be quite some time, and Sunset wonders how long was she gone, because it's stated that it's Halloween now in the human world, and basically she doesn't know what's going on. Like, she thinks that she didn't, like, had the years gotten longer in Equestria since she's been gone. And also, she ends up with, she goes down the hallway. Yeah, the hallway. She basically goes down the hallway and sees the palace is a wreck. The tapestries are torn to shreds. There's a shimmering carpet of jagged, multicolored shards all over it, and Sunset also takes notice that something beyond the windows is only darkness. Sorry. Which, to her, looks like somebody blotted out the stars in the sky. But she discovers that the windows are being blocked by rubble. Sunset then teleports to the balcony, and basically looking at the aligning of the stars, and she realized that she is in fact in the right continent of the era and the right time of year. And Canterlot is a mess. It is very, very... It's basically now a twisted parody of its former glory. The land is covered in sugar-frosted coatings. The forest is being supported by thick candy cane trunk trees with candy leaves. The grass fields are now in the distance in bright pink bubblegum shards. And of course, everything smells sweet. So yeah, Canterlot is now in ruins, and the only parts of it that are still standing are now gingerbread versions of their former glory. And basically, Sunset also takes notice. Well, she feels what appears to be a mountain moving. Like it starts to rumble and it's somehow moving. Sunset Shimmer then sees, and there's also a mist, like around the city. And of course it's been hiding a thick carpet of bones that are all around the city. And of course these bones obviously belong to ponies that are now sadly long dead. And of course they have twisted grins. They are not pleasant to look at all. No. Even their description is very unpleasant. And basically, it's revealed that the moving mountain is actually a bigger version, I think, of the Candy Mare. So basically, and of course the story ends with Sunset being, attacked. You'll have to read the other stories to, I think, get this ending, because this ending honestly had me a little confused. But yeah. So, my final thoughts is, this was a really good fanfic. Like, it gave us more backstory on the Candy Mare. Since the Candy Mare, even though she looks like a full-grown mare, she's basically she's basically childlike, given the fact that she technically is still one in her mind. Basically, she, in a sense, kind of still acts like a child. But yeah, this ending is actually kind of is sort of leading to events that are going to happen later. So yeah, basically, and we also kind of get a bit of history on how Celestia knows about the portal, and basically the human world as well, and basically kind of the origins of how the mirror portal was made. And also basically how, because I get the feeling that after this, like in the past, when Luna and Celestia, end up defeating the Candy Mare and Luna banishes her. And basically, yeah, everything else happens. Luna becomes Nightmare Moon and gets banished to the moon, and everything goes down like it did in the show. But yeah, and also it appears that the Candy Mare is also going to is not only now involved with Equestria, but also the human world. And yeah, I may talk more about this, some things that I missed and the characters. But yeah, I mean, if anyone wants me to, so sorry, I'm just a little tired and had a long day. But yeah, so yeah, let me know. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all again in the next video, and as well. And also, happy Easter. Well, happy early Easter. So yeah, I hope you all like it. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all again. Bye.